Welcome to the Josh Button Podcast. In for a quickie today. I just had a few thoughts and really wanted to maybe put a smile on somebody's face today. Because the world we envision is very important, and the world we envision is just as important as the one we are trying our best to expose. And I do believe shining a light and sharing truth and pointing it, aiming it right at darkness, especially what many people weren't really aware of, is very important. It's very important for our adaptation, because we do need to adapt to a world which exists with a slightly different reality than what we were exposed to most of our lives. I've said before, and I'll say it again, I believe we are in an inverted reality, because maybe we fell asleep at the wheel. Maybe we have been too comfortable and didn't have really enough reasons to inspect or really put due process to the information that's been given to us. Not only just the media, not only just on the news, but in school. Indoctrination runs deep. It's clear. It is easier to fool a man than to convince him he has been fooled. More relevant than ever, because there are so many people grasping and clinging to what they were taught as fact is fact, with a stranglehold, with a death grip. They are refusing to accept the possibilities and the realities that conflict with what they've held on to their entire lives, especially what we were taught young enough and what we were taught that we needed to know, understand, repeat, and instill and install in our psychology. I know a lot of people get hung up on the shape of the earth and this huge conspiracy theory, and rightfully so. But in my opinion, it's not really necessary that we know right away or even in our lifetimes what exactly it is, so long as we've already eliminated what it isn't. And I think it's clear that there is a large community out there, and growing community, who has just pointed out an abundance of lies. NASA lies. The science has been manipulated and lies. There was Eric Weinstein on Joe Rogan a few weeks ago, and he's a physicist way smarter than I'll ever be in this lifetime. He can explain things that I don't even understand. I'll be honest, I do not understand them. But I do understand what he was saying on the podcast when he pointed out the simple fact that even in that community, they've been dishonest. They've been dishonest because they were afraid to challenge not only the accepted consensus or the ideas that were proposed when they were learning, when they were being indoctrinated or educated, however you want to look at it themselves, but within the community, when people took experimentation or thoughts to a level where they noticed and they deemed the results were not aligning with how they should be, they stopped questioning. They stopped the real science. The real science would have been open to proposing that previously accepted theories and law even were wrong, and that, if these theories that we were building upon them are not working, well, it's time to start over, or it's time to throw some out and really inspect. And that part of science has been neglected. No doubt about it. It's been neglected. It's been shunned for funding, for consensus, for acceptance, for not wanting to cause a scene or ruffle feathers or debate those that people were just somewhat afraid would out-debate them or would humiliate them. We do live in a society where humiliation rituals are everywhere. In Hollywood, you see these masculine men getting put in dresses, and that has repeated itself so many times that it can't be coincidence to anyone anymore. It's a humiliation ritual. These existed in the modeling industry for sure. They would ask people to do things that were humiliating. They would expect them to do things that were humiliating, and people did them. I wondered why people would go along with some of these things, but then I realized their sense of belonging was more important than their integrity. It was more important than themselves. They didn't put themselves first, or what they truly held as belief, or what they truly held as truth, and what they truly thought they were worthy of. If you're worthy of having an opinion that goes counterintuitive to most of the opinions around you, then you will be a lot less moldable, a lot less impressionable. I am very grateful for, if nothing else, somewhere along the line becoming willing to stand out on my own. And boy, I mean, it's not easy. I understand that. I have been mocked. I have been ridiculed. I have had people cast judgment upon the things that I would say that they didn't agree with, or that didn't align with what they were taught. It is what it is. Not everybody's ready to do that. Not everybody's going to proceed in an uncomfortable environment, especially within their realm of career, or within the circles in which they choose to try their best to flourish in. It's got to be hard for Hollywood actors once they hit that casting couch the first time, after they've had a taste of some success, and then be kind of propositioned with, I'm going to take it all the way unless you comply. But that is most definitely happened time and time again. We have to shine a light on all of the evil and the darkness that surrounds us at this moment, if we are to create the reality most of us really want to see. And most of us do wish to see an abundant, plentiful, happy, healthy, war-free existence that doesn't seem attainable. I don't believe that it seems attainable to a great majority of the population. I think that people have been brainwashed to the extent where they even believe in the population control things, and the projected baloney that would make us feel like self-loathing is rational. Where we place our attention and put energy is very important. So I think it's, right now, wildly important to not only pay attention to these things that are heinous that are going on, but also remember and envision a future without it. We are not defeated. We are not defeated. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to make anyone believe that. What we're watching in Hawaii right now is horrific, but there has to be a silver lining to almost everything. And this one in particular, I really hope for the people of Hawaii, and especially the locals there that have generational land and resources that have been part of their family and part of their lineage. They don't let it go. And in fact, I hope that they are rewarded for holding out as long as they have, because it's now clear that the pressure has been upon them before this event to not only give up their land, but to give up their heritages in a way that would acquiesce to what this globalist system sees for us. The smart cities, and you'll own nothing and be happy. You'll eat the bugs. No. I refuse to believe that that is our future. I hope you hold on to every bit of faith that you have and fight for this. Fight for this. And fight for it with your vision. Fight for it with the knowledge of the good and evil that's going on right now. This is a battleground. But envision the win. It's how we learn. In jiu-jitsu, I think some of the best advancements I've seen for myself have been not only when I'm going regularly and training, but when I'm really actively envisioning correcting the mistakes that I've made during training and envisioning the proper techniques when I'm away from the mats. Over and over and over and over and over and again. These reps in our mind are very important for reality. We are absolutely changing reality by shining a light on the darkness that most definitely proceeds with a plan and the groups that are responsible for this, so that awareness will inspire change. Awareness will inspire change. That is most definitely why there are so many truthers out there risking not only their reputation, but risking their lives. In a lot of situations, they are risking their lives. We see the whistleblowers that have come forward have their entire lives wrecked for doing so. Snowden and Assange, regardless of whether they were good guys doing the right thing at the right time, they both put forth information that was risky. Seth Rich put forth information that was very risky. He paid with his life. Martyrs are a real thing. But we can't let martyrs go for no reason, and we can't martyr parts of ourselves for no reason. We have to continue the fight. We have to, yes, expose everything that we find out in our studies and in our networks. It's our responsibility to make people accountable to do a little bit more and share a little bit more so that we can get out of this hole. This is most definitely a hole that we're in. Look at what they're doing to Trump. I don't care if you hated Trump because somebody told you to hate him. I don't care if you voted the other way because you were so convinced he was a racist or any of the other things. But now you have to have paid attention just to what they're doing to that man. And you have to understand that he was truly an outsider. If they're going to all of these lengths and they're risking everything that they're risking to bury this man, he must have been truly a threat. He still is truly a threat. I have always held on to the beliefs that elections didn't matter. That we were selected, our presidents were selected, not elected. I felt that the Bush-Gore thing, several elections. There's been several elections in my lifetime where there was issues. And people have always raised these issues about elections, but there's never been consequences the kind that they're trying to put on Trump now. It's never been an issue. Hillary screamed at the top of her lungs that it was a fault, crooked election that got Trump elected. Top of her lungs. Stacey Abrams in Georgia, and since Georgia is the one doing this, she was over and over and over again, you have these offenders for things that are worse than what Trump did. January 6th, literally, the guy encouraged people not to raise arms against the government when it was already evident that this election had been stolen. I think many of patriots were kept at bay, kept in check by Trump, not the other way around. But they're going after that man. They're trying to bury him. They're trying to eliminate him from the scene altogether so that he can never run for office again. What happens if he gets in? When he gets in? What happens? I hope you know the boomerang is coming. And in the truther community, in the conspiracy theorists out there, there's a lot of people that swear the tribunals have been going on for years anyways, since the beginning of 2020. I hope so. I hope Guantanamo's full of deep state actors and people that wish to put their poisons into us and eliminate us and enslave us. Doesn't matter. We'll find out one way or another. I'm not in a hurry for it. I want to know more about these direct energy weapons and who's got their finger on the trigger and what's going on with that. How does such a heinous event happen in such a particular way that none of the elites are affected, none of these $1 million mansions that are owned by globalists and puppets, how come they escape free and the locals get smoked out, burnt out, people are killed? I don't believe that's a coincidence. I don't believe the vaccine program is a coincidence or an accident or bad science. Hey, I think there was bad intentions. I see a future where these people pay the ultimate price. They pay with their lives because they've tried to take lives, and they have taken lives. I see a future where we flourish because BlackRock and Vanguard and the banking system, the Federal Reserve, these criminals that have monopolized so much are dealt with, and justice is brought about. And confiscation of all these things that they took from us illegally through slavery, modern slavery, are given back to us. I choose to see that future. When I go to sleep at night, I am not thinking about these demons that are sacrificing children or adrenochrome or any of the evil that has lurked in the shadows for so long. I choose to see a world where patriots that have exposed these things have created such momentum that it's only a matter of time. Mel Gibson, what an interesting case. Apocalypto. The Passion. I mean, these things are not something to take lightly. In my opinion, the efforts for any and all that have, kind of like Trump, martyred part of themselves or their careers or their reputations has created the momentum we need and we have to successfully eliminate this darkness. There will always be evil. There will always be people with bad intentions. And if there is a group, the scale and size of the group that has been governing the world and driving academia and history and science and the medical, pharmaceutical, health scare industry, if they could attain it, if they could acquire it, it can be taken away. There's a silver lining to all of this. I think we need to collectively start seeing it and start understanding that it ends when we say it ends. And I'm not talking about taking to the streets with your ARs. I'm not talking about civil war. I'm talking about putting so much light and so much truth out there that the evil itself starts to cower. I think they already are. If you pay attention, I think they already understand that they are in desperate times. And I think that's why things have escalated as much as they have. The people going to their school board meetings and to their city councils and just putting them on blast, I commend you. I think we all, whatever steps we can take in that direction are completely necessary and very important. Turning your social media into a martyred situation, I swear my social media is nothing more than my martyrdom. Because I know and I saw exactly how it was going a few years ago when I was posting modeling pics and things that were irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Worshipped online for bullshit. For bullshit. Who cares about your freaking photos? Who cares about your selfies? Seriously, who cares? Who cares about some fashion client that wants their clothes blasted all over your social media? If you got that many people that are following you, doesn't matter what they're following you for, if they're following you to look at your pictures or if they just are there to pick your brain. Use it for shining a light on this. Keep that momentum going. And most definitely, things are getting censored, things are getting pulled. But the more you pay attention to that, the more you realize what's really important, what battles are really, really worth fighting, and I'm going to fight them. Keep pulling my post. Keep censoring them. Everything you tell me I can't do, I'm going to double down on. I'm going to triple down on it. Because you're exposing yourselves. We're not fools. We're not fools. We should completely understand. Yes, psychologically, it has an impact when they decide they're going to throttle your account, or they're going to make it where people can't see what you're posting, or they're going to take things down, or they're going to defame your character with their stupid little fact checker crap on the bottom of it, and they're going to say that you're a purveyor of misinformation. It has a little effect. But I want it to piss you off just enough to double down, triple down, and share more. Put more light on it. The Streisand effect. The Streisand effect. The more you tell me I can't do something, the more I'm going to do it. The more you say we shouldn't do it, the more we're going to do it. You're not going to win. We don't see that future. We see the future where you've backed us to a wall and we are extremely dangerous. And I think they're aware. It's a short one today, but I want to say it's going to be all right. Don't worry. Be happy, as the song goes. See that future where we conquer the evil, tyrannical darkness, and communists are once again and forever on the run or locked away. I'm Josh Button. It's been real. Have a good day.